much a part of it. Mental chatter is an internal monologue that you have going on in your head all the time. It begins when you get up in the morning, is with you right through the day, is with you right now when out of politeness and courtesy you ought to be listening to my chatter instead of your chatter, and is with you right through at night. And sometimes it's so loud it prevents you from going to sleep. It's the kind of thing that goes, there's the alarm bell. Do I want to get up? I don't want to get up. Let me hit the snooze button. Why do I have to go to work? I really hate what I do. Oh, there's that project that's due. And that idiot was supposed to get me all the data I needed and he still hasn't. Why are people so unreliable? And you go ahead and say, oh my God, I've got X amount to pay in taxes and I wish I didn't have to pay that much in taxes. Why do I have to do that? I got a lousy accountant. Maybe I should change my accountant. That stuff that's going on all the time, that's mental chatter. It's so much a part of your life that until I explicitly drew it to your attention, you probably didn't even recognize you had this going on. It's like an unwelcome relative who's shown up to your house and you can't throw him out. So what do? You live your life as best you can despite your mental chatter. You ignore it, you suppress it, you work around it, you do what you can. Big mistake. The reason it's a big mistake is we create our lives with our mental chatter. Let me repeat that. We create our lives with our mental chatter and our mental models, which I'll get to shortly. So we think we're living in a real world, but we're not living in a real world. We're living in a construct. We created it. We're all living in a matrix, only this isn't a matrix created by an alien civilization out to enslave us. It's something we created with our mental chatter. But having created it, we then experience it as we have created it. That's the important point. We experience it as we've created it. And this is a hugely liberating concept because if you don't like the life you're living in and it's a construct, then you can deconstruct the parts of it that aren't working for you and build it up again. But if you live in a real world and you don't like it, you're screwed. Grin and bear it. But because you live in a construct, that's liberating. I don't like my life. Fine. I constructed it. I'm going to deconstruct the parts of it I don't like, build it up again, do something that I like better. And lo and behold, your life has improved right there. And this is a process that you're going to do over and over and over again. This is a rest of your life solution I've given you. And I'll prove it to you right now. One of the more powerful parables from the Buddha, one of the more powerful teachings of the Buddha is the parable of the second arrow. And in the parable of the second arrow, Buddha is speaking to Ananda, his disciple, and he says, Ananda, if an arrow would hit you in the arm, would it not be very powerful, very painful? Ananda not say, yes, Lord, it would be very painful. And if a second arrow would hit you exactly where the first arrow hit you, would it not be even more painful? Yes, Lord, it would be even more painful. And the Buddha, why then do you shoot the second arrow? Now that needs a little explanation, so I'll tell you a story. There was a woman and, very good mother, and her son grew up to be 16 and he got a provisional driver's license. And one day he comes up to his mom and says, hey, Mom, I'm getting together with a group of friends of mine and I have to take the car. Can I take the car? And she says, of course not. You just got your driver's license. How can you take the car? Where do you have to go? I'll drop you. No, you don't understand. I'm getting together a group of friends. You can't be there. It's very important you not be there. Fine. If I can't be there, I can't be there. There's Uber, there's Lyft. What would you like? No. You don't understand. I have to take the car. And you have to not be there. And she says, ridiculous. Of course not. But you know how children are. He begged, he pleaded, he wheedled, and bit by bit she felt herself giving way. And he's growing up. He has to show he has a car and independent is important to him. And he lose face with his friends if he can't take the car and so on. So, she took promises. You're not going to drink. No, I'm not going to drink. You're going to call. Yes, I'm going to call. You'll be back by 10 o'clock. I'll be back by 10 o'clock. So finally, reluctantly, she gives him the car keys. And of course, once he gets the car keys, it gets all about his promises. He doesn't call, has too many beers, misses curfew. On the way back, he gets into an accident, he's in the hospital being operated on, and his mother is right there with him while he's being operated on. And then when he's wheeled to the recovery room, she dashes home so she can have a shower and change and go back to the hospital. And a friend calls. And a friend says, how could you possibly have let him take the car? You're not a mother, you're a murderer. Now you're shocked, right, that a friend would say something like that at this juncture? But you'd probably be less shocked if I said it wasn't what a friend said, it's what she told herself. That is the second arrow. It's bad enough being in the situation that she was in with a son who's recovering and, God knows what by damage, long-term damage he has suffered. Does it make matters better to tell herself that she is a lousy mother, maybe even a murderer? Of course not. But she does it all the time. The interesting thing to remember about the second arrow is the second arrow is always delivered by means of mental chatter. Always. For most of my coaching clients, if I could get them to stop at the second arrow, they'd be way ahead of the game. They're on their fifth, sixth, or 285th arrows before they recognize what they're doing for themselves. That's how important it is. In fact, I'm making a blanket statement to everybody on this call. No matter what situation you're facing right now, whatever situation is of concern to you right now, your mental chatter about that situation is making it at least an order of magnitude worse. No matter what the situation is that's concerning you, your mental chatter about that situation is making it at least an order of magnitude worse. Oh, I've got unexpected taxes due. Oh my God, I have taxes due. How am I going to meet that? What's going to happen to my business? How am I going to maintain my lifestyle? And you can go off on that journey, and next thing you know, your joy has left your life, and you're worried. There's a wonderful saying by Mark Twain, and it's both very funny and very profound. He says, I've suffered a great many tragedies in my life, most of which never happened. That's funny, but it's also incredibly profound. It all stems from mental chatter. That's how and why it is such a powerful concept.